In the Talmud Masechet Shabbat, the sages debated the question, who is rich? Rabbi Meir responded, he who is satisfied with his lot. Rabbi Tarfon claimed, he who has 100 vineyards and 100 workers to tend to them. Rabbi Akiva answered, he who loves his wife. And Rabbi Yossi the Galilean said, he who has indoor plumbing. This week's Torah portion, Toldot, tells us how Isaac became rich. While he never enjoyed Abraham's status and reputation among the local Canaanites as a prince sojourning among us, he didn't have to. He wasn't a sojourner, not an itinerant, but a native. Unlike Abraham, his father, and Jacob, his son, he lived in his entire life in the land of Israel, in the northwest Negev, near what is today the Gaza Strip, exactly the area where Hamas recently perpetrated its horrific mass murder and kidnapping. After the trauma of the Akedah and the death of his mother, Isaac left his father's huge shadow to seek his own identity in tranquility and simplicity. He chose an area of marginal value at the edge of the desert, where the quantity of annual rainfall is in some years not quite enough to sustain agriculture. He pitched his tent, married, planted wheat, dug wells, and stood his ground to protect them. As a result, the parched marginal land produced, even by contemporary standards, a fantastic yield of mea she'arim, 100 times the amount of the seed that he planted. It made him a wealthy man. We know that the land of Israel is resource poor. During the 1930s, when the British Mandate administration issued a report calling for the limitation of Jewish immigration, it cited estimates that Palestine could support only 300,000 more people. Yet a century later, the land of Israel supports 12 million. In the end, the resource that enabled it is the hard work, ingenuity, and dedication of the millions of Jews who immigrated to it. Most people outside of Israel can only think of our land as a place of conflict and tragedy. Yet anyone who knows it also knows its secret. Most people here, most of the time, Jews and Arabs, live modest lives built around strong families. And like it did back in those ancient times, this marginal land has miraculously yielded 100 times what was planted, if not much more. Like our father Isaac, the rich yields of the land of Israel seem miraculous. Yet many equally daunting challenges remain. Those challenges are reflected in the struggles of Isaac's son, Jacob, in the next two Torah portions. He will have to resolve conflicts with his father-in-law, his brother, and most of all, the conflict with himself in order to reach reconciliation and achieve the name Israel. May our children have the strength to do the same. If I were a rich man, Shavua Tov from Schechter.